New Lands, by Charles Hoyfort, Part 2, Chapter 20c. We are approaching accounts of a different kind of changes upon the moon. There will be data seeming so to indicate not only persistence but devotedness upon the moon that I incline to think not only of devotedness but of devotions. Upon the 16th of October, 1866, the astronomer Schmidt of the land of Socrates announced that the isolated object in the eastern part of the Mare Serenitatis, known as Lynn, had changed. Lynn stands out in a blank area like the pyramid of Cheops in its desert. If changes did occur upon Lynn, the conspicuous position seems to indicate selection. Before October 1866, Lynn was well known as a dark object. Something was whitening an object that had been black. A hitherto unpublished episode in the history of theologies. The new prophet who had appeared upon the moon. Faint perceptions of moving formations, often almost rigorously geometric, upon one part of this earth, and perhaps faintest of signal-like sounds that reached the moon, the new prophet, and that he preached the old lunar doctrine that there is no God but the earth god, but exhorted his hearers to forsake their altars upon which had burned unheeded lights, and to build a temple upon which might be recited a litany of lights and shades. We are only now realizing how the earth god looks to the beings of the moon, who know that this earth is dominant, who see it filled with the loops of the major planets, its Elizabeth and rough wrought by the complications of the asteroids, the busy little sun that brushes off the dark. God of the moon, when mists make it expressionless, vast, bland, silvery Buddha. God of the moon, when seeing it clear, when the disguise is off, when, at night, from pointed white peaks drip the fluctuating red lights of a volcano. This earth is the appalling god of carnivorousness. Sometimes the great roundish earth, with the heavens behind it broken by refraction, looks like something thrust into a shell from external existence, clouds of tornadoes as if in its grasp, and it looks like the fist of God, clutching rags of ultimate fire and confusion. That a new prophet had appeared upon the moon, and had excited new hope of evoking response from the bland and shining stupidity that has so often been mistaken for God, or from the appalling that is so identified with divinity, from the clutched and menacing fist that has so often been worshipped. There is no intelligence except air intelligence. Suppose the whole geosystem be a super embryonic thing. Then, by the law of the embryo, its parts cannot organize until comes scheduled time. So there are local congeries of development of the chicken and egg, but these local centers cannot more than faintly sketch out relations with one another, until comes the time when they may definitely integrate. Suppose that far back in the 19th century there were attempts to communicate from the moon, but suppose that they were premature. Then we suppose the fate of the protoplasmic threads that feel out too soon from one part of an egg to another. In October 1866, Schmidt of Athens saw and reported in terms of the concepts of his era and described in conventional selenographic language. See Report of the British Association, 1867.